Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Konjo Show, where we discuss all things love, faith, and culture. I'm your host, Nancy Konjo. Before I dive into the first episode, I want to tell you guys about me, my intentions for the show, and how I plan to break it down, who my intended audience is, and all that good stuff. So, again, my name is Nancy Konjo, and obviously that's where the name of the show stems from. But I also wanted to use my last name because of its personal meaning in my dialect, which is Lamsa, stemming from the Banso tribe in Cameroon. But for those who are Habesha or Eritrean or Ethiopian, you also know, if you speak Amharic, that in the Ethiopian dialect, it means beautiful. So don't be surprised if I call you guys my Konjos. Don't be surprised if we have a lot of cultural conversations pertaining to Cameroon and Africa in general. And with this show, we will essentially just be exploring and discussing all my thoughts and questions pertaining to love, faith, and culture, but in very succinct and hopefully conclusive ways. There are going to be times where I'll host alone and many other times where I'll have experts and co-host everyday people who are trying to navigate questions around these topics as well. We will also push the limits within discussions and try to break outside of the box of conditioned thinking about these topics with hopes that it makes us more well-rounded, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually balanced beings. And I want us to learn and heal and journey together on this show. And how I plan to kind of break down the show is into a sequence of seasons within the year, again, with topics pertaining to love, faith, and culture. And that will be just essentially a continuous cycle of discussions within the show series. So you guys will see, season 1 will have topics of love, season 2, topics of faith, season 3, topics of culture, all that good stuff. So an example would be for the first season, if we're going to be on the series of love, we're going to discuss intersections of love and relationships or love and music. If we're discussing faith, we can discuss the intersections of faith and politics or faith and sexuality. And then within culture, we can do culture and trauma or the intersections of culture and Black liberation. So, as you guys see, we're going to have a lot to discuss. And so as we actually, I need to talk about my intended audience. But with all that being said, I want to mention that I am intentionally and unapologetically only targeting an audience of Black and Brown millennials on this show. And I'm also intentionally and unapologetically targeting those of Black American and African descent, Afro-diasporan migrants from Africa, South America, and the Caribbeans on this show. So if you don't fit into those categories, this show may not always speak to you, and I'm okay with that. And if you also choose to listen knowing this, I'm also equally grateful. So just want to put that out there. It's going to be hella Black.
Blackity black, black.
Blackity black, black, black. Okay. So on the first topic of the Konjo Show, we will be discussing the intersection of love and dating and how to make sure that we're navigating the dating space decisively. Okay, and so the first topic that I want to touch on is I want us to start from the beginning. So making sure that you know what you want, right? You must first know who you are, what you want. What are you even looking for when you go into this dating space, this dating world, and the digital age?
Oh, that you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm starting with you.
Okay. My bad. Eh?
Nah, you're good. You're good.
I thought this is for the audience.
No. I'm gonna throw it to you. And please, before you answer that question, please just give the audience a little bit, a background about who you are, what you do, Humbly Radio.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So my name is Philip Malcolm. I go by The Bearded Host on Instagram, or like the social media world. That's what most people know me by. And if you know me in person, then most people call me that too. I don't know why, but I go by Phil. So you can call me that as well. I'm the owner of Humbly Radio. This is a podcast platform, really a media company. We're getting ready to expand into different avenues as well. But currently we focus on podcasting. And what we do is just provide a space where we can share our ideas, but not just share our ideas, but come to solutions to a lot of the grave issues or topics that you will be discussing on your show for sure. But a lot of the other topics that we explore oftentimes in the news or on social media that gets a lot of play and feedback from people all over the world. We want to be able to provide solutions for these topics and issues. So this is just a platform where it's Black owned. We blackity black, and we're pushing a humble narrative. You know, everybody has their own opinions. We understand that, but we kind of want to preach a lifestyle instead of a movement. I think a lot of people have movements out there, and that's
cool.
That's cool. Like, it is what it is. But movements are always moving. And we're trying to preach or teach a lifestyle where you can carry this in any walk of life, where whatever part of the journey you're on, we can meet you right there. And you'll be able to succeed no matter what.
Love it.
So, to get into your question then.
Yes.
All right. So, what do you look for in a partner?
How do you know what you want when you are navigating the dating space? What are you looking for?
All right. So, you know, everybody has like the characteristics. They got the pet peeves. You know, for me, I mean, I have those things. I'm not too picky anymore like I used to be, but I'm not as picky anymore when it comes to those things. I think that just in the place that I am today, if you're the right one for me, I will know it. I will feel it. Why? How do I know that? Because I have friends where on both sides, male and female, where I've met them for the first time or I've had a conversation with that person and they just like got it. Like they understood me and I understood them almost instantly, and we hadn't spoken in a long time, or this is the first time that I'm meeting them. So from that experience, I just know, okay, if I can translate that over into a romantic relationship, then it should feel the same way. Probably on a deeper level, I would assume, but I know what it should feel like at least. So I'll be able to make my decision then. But yeah, I got the characteristics and all of that stuff, just like everybody else does. I kind of, all right, I like and love women. Right? Not multiple women, but that's
gotcha.
That's my lane.
Okay.
All right. So since that's my lane, there are certain characteristics that I just can't live without. Like if you're a woman, if you're gonna be my woman, definitely you have to know how to cook. Doesn't mean that you have to cook every single day, but like you just have to know how. Why? Because it's very important.
I wasn't expecting that one.
If I'm I guess this ain't the question, but like I'm going deeper into it, right?
I was gonna push you towards characteristics because you were trying to shy away, but I need the juice.
Like cooking is one of the main things, and of course making sure that you can organize a home and that you are an organized person, just on an individual basis. Okay. Cooking, for instance, is a very important thing because you got to be able to show that you can feed a family, that you can care for a family, just like I can. Like I should be able to know how to cook and all of that. So every characteristic that I expect from a woman, I should be able to do as well. Okay. Except for bearing kids, because I can't do that, but I can support them. You understand? So cooking is one of them. Cleaning or being a cleanly person is definitely on the top of the list, because you don't want to have a dirty home and you always got to be trying to pick up after one another when guests say, hey, I'm 5 minutes away. That's just unnecessary, and it shows that you're kind of disorganized in your mind and spiritually. So it just doesn't work for me if you're an unkept, uncleanly person, especially in your home. What else? Spiritual, for sure. Okay. You have to be able to connect with me on a spiritual level. definitely you got to believe in God. You got to believe in Christ. Those are two essential things for me that have, I hate to say worked because it seems like a scientific experiment, but I guess a lot of people treat it that way, which is another topic. But
the science of compatibility.
Yeah, but for me, I grew up in the church. I strayed away a little bit from a lot of the practices and traditions and so forth. And then I ended up coming back to some of them. And then I kind of reinvented myself and realized what these things really mean. And now I practice some of them differently, So as long as we are able to align on a foundational level, I think the most important thing when it comes to a lot of these characteristics is that you're an open person.
Right.
So that when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to raising kids and should they get an education, where should they go, what kind of values are you going to instill into one another, as well as your children and the world, career path, like all of these things are very important, but having an open mind, I think, is key when it comes to choosing a partner. So I think I can leave it there when it comes to the characteristics, but being open is very important.
Yeah, and I love that because we're talking dating and it seems like you're projecting into the future, right? So we're not just talking about just like temporal things or like fleeting things that you're looking for. We're talking about decisive dating. So dating with intention.
Yeah, ain't no playing around.
Right, yeah. If you're just looking to have fun with, that's not what we're talking about today.
You can go to Magic City and have fun.
Right. No, but we're talking about dating decisively for people who are dating for the purpose or with intention for marriage and, family if you so choose. So I love that you are, projecting those forward thinking and very clear about what you want and what you're looking for. And I know you said like when you meet someone, you kind of know, but like, are there traits that you've maybe premeditated or written down prior to, meeting someone that you're like, okay, like these are my wants, my non-negotiables, whatever. So even if you meet this person, there's this like emotional connection, right? Or spiritual connection, whatever, like you have these lists of things or characteristics that you're looking for that they may not meet, even if the spark is there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does that ever happen? Even if the emotional or spiritual spark is there, or the mental spark is there, there's still things on that list that
definitely
that happens. Okay.
Definitely.
So what do you do when that happens in the dating space?
It depends on what it is. If it's something that I can clearly see, okay, this person is still working through this aspect of their life, because oftentimes it's sort of like let's just say, for example, I may have thought really hard on what my stance is with homosexuals, right? And the girl that I'm dating may not have thought through what her stance is on that. For me, I mean, it's a spiritual thing. It's a moral thing. So I've thought through it very well to have a position on it. So if I see that she's still teeter-tottering on that, I'm like, okay, that's something that we got to revisit later. But is it like what do they call it? One of those
deal breakers?
Yeah, if it's like a deal breaker, I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Okay. So what are deal breakers for you during dating? Like, what are things that you're like, okay, like we vibing, but like, oh, she feels this way about this, so I can't rock.
You know what the crazy thing is with me? We can connect on certain levels, but even if there is something that goes undiscussed, I can still sense that we're not compatible completely.
Okay.
You understand me? So there are non-negotiables that I have that I don't necessarily have to list per se, but I just know that
ain't gonna work.
That ain't gonna work. It's just I don't know, man. Like the people that really know what I'm saying, like you catch a vibe, and when the vibe is full, like your heart is full, like it's complete, and content, like you just know.
Okay.
You just know.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't you're not undecisive. Like, you're not thinking too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not losing sleep over this thing. You're just like, I know what it is.
Okay.
And like, I can bang with this person as a friend, but take it that step further. Nah, I don't think
not
so
much.
You know?
Okay. And are you currently single right now? Are you dating?
Oh, why are you trying to do that?
I'm just
why
trying
are you doing that?
I know I'm gonna have the girls hit me up in the DM, and I need to make sure that I have your portfolio ready. But are you currently dating at the moment?
It's tricky.
I tried.
No, I'm messing with you now. I'm not dating anybody.
Oh, you're not? Okay, well, there you have it, guys. Don't bother me in the DMs. Okay, so putting yourself out there, right? Like you mentioned, the biggest thing about like dating is making sure that you're open. And so being that we are in the digital age, being that we are in the season of COVID, a lot of us are at home. So like online dating is like the biggest thing right now. Like we don't really go out to see each other. And even pre-COVID, like a lot of people don't even go to the grocery stores anymore. Right. You know, like you'd hear people talking about bumping into someone while they're like at the market or like things like that don't happen anymore. We get our clothes online. So like how can we navigate dating decisively in the digital space, digital age?
Hey, I mean, it's up to you what you value, whether you value meeting this person face to face, bumping up to them. Like people like to have the story about like
how they met,
just seeing her from a distance, and or I saw him and he was working out. It's just them random stories. So it depends on what you like, what you value. If you want to meet that person face to face, or if you don't care, meeting them online. Because that's just the new thing now. It's just so easy. You can pull up on somebody's Instagram page or Facebook page and see something that you like, reach out to them, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
It can happen that way. Yeah. So how do you navigate it? Just what is real, what is authentic to you.
What works for you.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about online dating? Like, what is your take? Are you for it, against it, indifferent? Like, how do you feel about online dating? What are the pros and cons?
I ain't with it.
You not with it?
Nah, okay. Just personally, that's not my thing.
So what are the cons for you with online dating?
It's just too impersonal.
Okay.
Right? I can't necessarily get the vibe from you. Because social media is all about perception. So if most people will just post whatever they want you to think about them.
True.
It's just like dating a person for the first 3 to 6 months. They giving you their best representative.
Yeah.
But you never really know who that person is until you go through some stuff. Like you just have to go through one of those experiences, and then you see, okay, this person is real, or they've been fake this whole time. So with the whole social media thing and dating, I guess for me, it's cool if I will never reach out to you. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
As a man, I'm not going to reach out to you, being a woman on social media. But in person,
okay,
I would definitely go up to you and, just introduce myself and, go that way.
Okay.
That route, the traditional route.
Okay.
It's just different. If a woman DMs me now, or is like commenting on my stuff, I may, give it a shot. I might say,
slide in a DM.
Yeah, I might say something like if I see it and I go to your page and I see something that interests me about you, then I might slide in a DM and say, hey, I realize that you've been checking me out. Like, what's going on? Who are you?
Wow. No, I love it. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm actually like super pro online.
Super pro online?
Super pro. I'm for it. I love it. Because I feel like, yes, online people do choose to show you more so like their representative. A lot of people do put on a facade online, and a lot of the things that they show are not truly representative of who they are in private. But I feel like even with people who are trying to project what they want you to see, I feel like you can still read a lot from that.
You can. One thing that I did do or have done is this young lady had contacted me one day, and I was just like, hey, let me give it a shot with this whole social media dating thing. So I I contacted her and we were talking just for a little bit on in the DM, and I just randomly FaceTime her.
You did.
The video call. I ain't asking nothing.
Jesus!
I video called her, and she picked up. She was cool about it. She picked up. What you mean?
Nah, y'all be wilding with that.
What you
calling? Just be calling people like, bruh, like.
What you mean?
I mean, but if she was cool with it, then it doesn't matter. If she was cool with it, then my opinion.
Nah, but your opinion does matter because there's a lot of women that think the same way.
Yeah,
like this is what we used to do. I used to get your number.
Not video though. You would just call.
It don't matter.
Nah, there's a difference.
We gotta.
It's more personal.
We gotta up the stakes now.
You know what?
You feel me? Like, shoot, if you want to look at my page, then I should be able to video call you and see what's up. Who's the real you? You got makeup on right now or not?
Or she could be doing something like she could be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what could she be doing that she's embarrassed about?
I mean, you would have to set up a phone call anyway, right? So I feel like it's kind of the same thing with a video call. Like, you wouldn't just be like randomly call somebody unless you guys were already close or cool. Or
we ain't got to be close. I just hit you up. All right. So what's so different about me voice calling you as opposed to video calling?
I just feel like it's so much
too
more
personal.
Like, I don't know you, like, and especially if I'm doing something.
But don't you want to see the real me?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. We'll get there.
When?
We just playing
games.
And it also
at
depends. No. It depends. It depends on how I'm feeling. There are times where, like, if the vibe is really there, then all right, cool, whatever. But if I'm still trying to fill you out, I may not be ready for a video call with you just yet. But doesn't mean it won't happen. You know what I'm saying? Just don't like assume that I want to video.
I will
call
give
you.
mad respect to a woman if she video called me on the first go. She's just like, hey, look, I like what I saw on social media. I just wanted to see if it was real.
Period. Okay.
I bet.
All right. No, I'm not.
I respect it.
I'm not mad at it. But
it just, I guess it's your preference, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's all preference.
Yeah,
but
it ain't that deep.
Even just beyond that, like, I feel like I have better access into learning who you are faster with social media versus, like, if I met you in person.
You think so?
Yes, because if I met you in person, like, I feel like I can, what's the word I'm looking? I can filter through a lot of the foolishness. Yeah, very quickly. Because if I'm someone who's, let's say I'm more conservative, right? If I meet someone that I think is handsome in person, they approach me. All right, I don't really know who you're projecting online or in your personal life. So I'm like, okay, he's handsome, boo, boo, whatever. But, like, I meet the same person on social media. We both swiped right. All right, cool, handsome. Go to his social media page. And if I'm more conservative and he's like ball in the hand, posing on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Turning up every day, promoting for clubs.
Right.
Then, this is not going to work. So I feel like I appreciate social media in that way because I feel like it allows me to vet a lot quicker than if I actually met you in person.
Okay.
So I'm pro.
Hey, yeah, it works though. It works for people.
It does.
It's just, I mean, it's worked for me too because I've been able to connect, not on the dating spectrum, but like just friendship and business relationships. I've been able to connect with people on that end. So it works for whatever you wanted to. Like I haven't specifically pursued a relationship through social media just because that's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain platforms that people like to tap into and utilize, and it's just not one of them for me. Like, how many people use LinkedIn?
I still listen.
You know, like a lot of people don't use LinkedIn, but they will use Instagram and Facebook. So it's just, that's the same for me. Like I won't utilize Instagram or Facebook for dating, but I'll definitely go up to you if I see you in public, because now you know it's real. For me, that's how I view it. Like, you know, it's real.
Yeah, if I'm in the flesh.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So, and we've talked about, like, you know, making sure that you know what you want and talking about the characteristics that you're looking for. But how do you make sure that you hold yourself accountable to those things, right? So, like, you meet someone, physical attraction's there, it's hot, it's steamy, you know what I'm saying? You want this girl, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you aren't compatible. How are you making sure that even though it's like, all right, she's gorgeous, she's like everything I want on paper, but these are the things that I said I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And how am I holding myself accountable to these things, even though she's a bad mamma jamma? Like, if I'm saying that I want a future partner who's going to be a mother to my child, who's going to be able to, you know, partner this home with me and this lifestyle with me, how do you hold yourself accountable to that while you're dating?
Yeah, I think you alluded to it. If I'm thinking, how are you going to be a mother to my children? How are you going to be my partner in life, in my career?
Mm-hmm.
This is just what we're talking about is goals, like plans, right? So I'd have to be very strategic. And if I want my future to look a certain way, if I want my life to look a certain way, then I have to hold true to that. Because ultimately, choosing a partner is probably the second most important thing that's the second most important decision you can make in your life.
What's the first?
First would be spiritual.
Okay, for you.
Spirituality.
Right. Okay.
For me. So God is number one. That's the first decision you can make, whether you follow Christ or not. Second thing is definitely partner, because a partner can make you or break
you. Period. Yeah.
Straight like that.
Yeah.
So, hey, like that's what it is for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but
yeah, no, and like, do you rely on your intuition? I know you said there's certain feelings that may come up, but like, because it seems like you're a very spiritual person, right? So like, how does spirituality and your intuition confirm for you that you are dating decisively? Like this person is who you are supposed to be pursuing at this time. What is that? What form of judgment do you use to like confirm that?
How do you know when you're hungry?
Oh, okay. Is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like you can tell your stomach lets you know, your mind, your body gets irritable.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of different signs that your body gives you to let you know. You could get tired. You could,
exactly,
different signs.
Exactly. So those are the signs that I use to know if I should be dating this person. A lot of it is very physical. It's very emotional. It's spiritual. So just how you said, when you're hungry, you feel it. Like your stomach starts growling. You can hear it too, right?
All your senses.
That you feel it. You can hear it. When you smell food, it just smells a little bit more intense. Your mind is only thinking about feeding itself. It's the same thing when it comes to dating for me. Like I can that fragrance that you have. Oh yeah, I like that. Like that's that thing right there. That's spicy right there.
That's spicy.
I can sense, like I can just feel in my gut and in my heart that this is it right here.
Okay.
Like those are just some of the I guess the tools that I use, because if you look at the way that our emotions work, they come and they go, right? So but they're very telltale indications of what is happening currently, what happened in the past, or what might be in your future. But you have to be able to differentiate from those things. So when you're just in tune with yourself and with God, there are certain things that are just pretty apparent to you, and other things that are kind of just like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't see it. But when it's time for you to date and have a serious relationship to the level of possible marriage, I'm pretty sure God don't play with that.
Nah. So
you should know. Like if you're a very serious person when it comes to that and your life, you should know.
Okay. Yeah, no, because not everybody is spiritual, but for those who are spiritually inclined, I feel like if you are in tune with self, if you are in tune with God, I feel like there are a lot of signs that kind of lead you in the direction you should go, and kind of direct you in the path in terms of who you should choose, especially if you're praying and asking for affirmations. I feel like those things are answered for you if you are a spiritually inclined person. But if you aren't, because I know not everybody who will listen, is someone, are people who are spiritual. I try to be as open-minded as possible. I think for me, just making sure that like the things that I've told myself that are requirements for me, that I'm just, again, holding myself accountable to those things, like making sure that I'm not straying away from the things that I said that I needed in order to thrive in partnership.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're someone who, again, who isn't spiritually inclined, just making sure that you know who you are and like what you want, and you're holding yourself accountable to those things.
We are all spiritual. I think we're more spiritual than we are physical beings. So
I agree.
Whether you recognize it or acknowledge it as that is just, I think that's just the truth.
Yeah. Period. I'm just sensitive to people who aren't.
No, I understand. So the point I was trying to make is that your level of spirituality may not even matter when it comes to this, because you should be able to feel it no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether you believe in God or not, you should be able to feel that.
Yeah.
Because like we have this new age thing where everybody's talking about energy, and like energy is real though.
Yeah.
Like you can feel that when somebody comes in the room and like they just got into a bad argument with their boyfriend, like you can tell. Even though they come in smiling or like fake smiling and stuff, like you tell that something is off from them, as soon as they walk through the door. The same for when they're happy, you can definitely tell. Maybe nothing even great happened to them, but they're just in a very good mood. You can tell. It's just very apparent. So it doesn't matter the level of spirituality that you're on necessarily. I think that is the higher you are on that spectrum, is the better you're able to tell and differentiate between people and things, and choices that you need to make. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you still feel these things. Like there's just a knowing that
we as humanity have.
You just have. You can't really describe it necessarily.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, definitely. And I want to thank you so much.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, do we have more time?
We have more time.
We got a few more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? She was studio, so I wanted to make sure.
Yo, this is Humbly Radio. There's no way you're going to want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.